All right, let's get on to it. This guy knows music. He knows movies, streaming. He's a Giants fan, Niners fan, mega fan of all medium. He comes and goes on a rainbow. He's the culture blaster, Michael Snyder, everybody.
Hey, happy September, everybody. Mark, Kim, John, and, of course, Chris. I hope it's a happy September. Remember those unmistakable signs of autumn when we were kids? You know, the trees changing color, losing their foliage, the smell of burning leaves after Dad had raked them up in the yard. And, of course, now the smell of burning leaves means a PG&E power line went down somewhere.
No. Oh, no.
Good times, man. I'm just hoping things don't get too out of hand as fire season is.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Is an issue.
Yep. That's true.
You want to get to some movie stuff?
Oh, I love you want to get right to it. You're going to dispense. I figured you were going to do like 10 minutes on the Royals, and we'd have like a minute for movies.
No. I'm actually, when I heard that the next
don't say something irreverent.
No, the next ruler of England was going to be King Charles. I thought, a spaniel? Anyway, you have to know about the King Charles Spaniel to appreciate that one.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
I'm dogging it. Let's get down to movies.
Oh, my God. Oh, all right.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
For all their faults and virtues, the suits at Disney are nothing if not determined to control their IP.
Oh, this is Pinocchio they have coming out.
It stands for intellectual property and explains why they made all these live-action versions of the company's classic cartoons. Maleficent based on Sleeping Beauty, Cruella based on 101 Dalmatians. Live-action animation blends of things like the Jungle Book, et cetera. It's all about retaining and reinforcing and profiting by repurposing their intellectual property. They're like, okay, IP here, IP there. Of course, it's kind of like they're marking their territory. Okay, I get it. Anyway, so this brings me to this new version of Pinocchio.
Yes.
I put new in quotes. It's based on the beloved Disney cartoon.
It's a classic story, Michael.
It gave the company its theme song and movie fanfare, When You Wish Upon a Star. Pinocchio has heavy-duty impact. So this is a live-action computer animation blend that features the live Tom Hanks as the elderly Italian woodcarver Geppetto. You remember Geppetto, right?
Yeah, I remember Tom Hanks, too.
I know. Anyway, Geppetto makes cuckoo clocks and other woodsy items in his quaint workshop in a pre-industrial age Italian village. You know the story. So mourning his late wife and deceased son, it's already a little dark, this white-whiskered fellow decides to carve a wooden puppet of a small boy and, wishing on a star, asks for the puppet to come alive. And
is that how it happened in the original story? I don't even remember. He lost his wife and son?
Well, I think that's implied. Okay. maybe they just wanted to up the stakes here.
All right.
Okay, anyway. So he asked for the puppet to come alive and fill the huge hole in the old man's heart.
Wow.
His wish is granted by the Blue Fairy, here played by the magnificent actress and singer Cynthia Erivo, which gives her a chance to do a killer When You Wish Upon a Star. You want to ever hear Cynthia Erivo sing? You're going to get a big payoff. Anyway,
it's fantastic.
And don't give me the non-traditional casting thing about Cynthia Erivo. She's blue. She's blue in the movie. Okay. Anyway,
they couldn't get a real blue person to play that role.
I know. Anyway, she nominates a recalcitrant vagabond cricket named Jiminy.
Recalcitrant is a ding word.
I knew you were going to do that. That's why I paused. By the way, Jiminy, nicely voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, doing a decent Cliff Edwards, the original Jiminy Cricket, old ukulele Ike. So kudos to Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Anyway, Jiminy is tasked with acting as the living puppet's conscience. And, of course, Pinocchio gets into the same scrapes he did in Disney's vintage 1940 Pinocchio, only in 3D animation instead of 2D. But, as it happens, Hanks gives a fairly two-dimensional performance as Geppetto.
That's a very...
It's a pretty lame, like he's doing an audition reel for the Chef Boyardee story.
Well,
I'm not
maybe
kidding.
That's the way they really talk, Michael. Did it ever occur to you?
I don't think so. Maybe he wanted to be a Super Mario.
He's Tom Hanks. He's a double Oscar winner. How dare you?
His Colonel Tom Parker in the Elvis movie was better, even if I didn't totally buy that either. Anyway, it's sort of perfect that this was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who made some truly great mass appeal films in his career, especially Back to the Future, Castaway that starred Hanks.
Oh, sure.
And a truly great mix of live action and animation, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But also, let's make it clear, this guy was responsible for directing the early motion capture computer animated Christmas movie, The Polar Express.
Oh, yeah.
Noted for some creepy stuff with a CGI Tom Hanks as the conductor, and held up as an example of the uncanny valley effect when computer-generated images of living things, especially humans, look off. So anyway, digital animation has come a long way since then, and so you get realistic renderings of numerous characters from the classic Disney Pinocchio cartoon, especially Pinocchio and Jiminy, still creepy. Anyway.
You're spending a long time on Pinocchio, pal. I hope you've got... Okay, well,
I have my reasons.
Okay.
Anyway, they do the big hit song. They do Hi Diddly Dee, I've Got No Strings. Now what?
How would you handle this?
You get them all.
We could try ignoring
But the
it, sir.
script, which is written by Zemeckis and Chris Weitz, is pretty feeble. The adult humor or attempts at it are weak, and there's a series of gratuitous, anachronistic Easter eggs at one point.
Anachronistic.
Somebody thought they were clever. Why do this? IP. They spent a lot of money. It's their own. I got a feeling that a number of executives at Disney have wooden heads themselves. That's what I'm thinking here. Anyway.
Wow. It was really that disappointing?
I was disappointed. I'm looking forward to Benicio del Toro's Pinocchio, due at the end of December. I guess 3 months and 82 years after the Disney ones.
Wait a minute. Are they really doing another Pinocchio with Benicio del Toro?
Yeah, Benicio del Toro is doing an animated Pinocchio. It's coming out in December.
Now, that's not a Disney product.
It is not, and it's going to lean much more visually on Carlo Collodi's 1883 novel for the look and inspiration. Anyway,
that's really
this was
interesting.
disappointing on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Pinocchio. Okay, first-time feature film writer-director Zach Kreger has set a pretty high bar for himself with Barbarian, a cleverly constructed 2-in-1 horror movie that takes an abrupt turn midway through and pays off with unexpected thrills, genuine chills, some shocking and sharp bursts of humor, and a few moments of gut-churning violence. It is a horror movie. Wow. And there's even commentary about changing social mores. In a cracked nutshell, a woman comes to Detroit for a job interview, shows up at her Airbnb after dark, and finds it's located in one of Detroit's bombed-out neighborhoods. Okay, the house is clean and well-maintained, but it already has a guy staying there. That's right, a double booking nightmare. Upset, but with nowhere else to go, the woman decides to stay the night, and then the fun begins. But
she stays the night when there's a guy there?
Yeah, she checks him out and what have you. Okay. They both check their reservations for the Airbnb. There's been a screw-up. But the things that go wrong
could possibly go wrong?
They're not what you'd expect. And as it starts to mount up, a bigger picture emerges. Things get even more horrifying. Kudos to the cast, including Georgina Campbell as the woman, Bill Pennywise the Clown Skarsgård as the guy, and Justin Long as someone from way out of left field who is still connected to the story. Barbarian is a very ominous and effective frightener, and its auteur, the aforementioned Zach Kreger, is an up-and-coming talent who surely has more up his sleeve. If you like to be freaked out, book a visit to Barbarian, or double book it, since it's always fun to scream with a friend. Anyway, Barbarian is in theaters.
Auteur is a ding and aforementioned. Thank you. Go ahead.
Brahmastra is the first part of a planned big-budget trilogy from India that combines superheroics, romance, mysticism, religion, pop ballads, and EDM music, and yes, Bollywood dance numbers into an Avengers-length epic. I mean, we're talking 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it's not a period piece like RRR, the massively entertaining Indian romp through history that's available on Netflix. This is thoroughly modern, albeit wholesome on the romantic side, because, it's from India, and it centers on Shiva, a handsome, happy-go-lucky Mumbai fellow who grew up in an orphanage and becomes an in-demand rave DJ. Spinning jams at a massive street party, he spots and falls in love at first sight with Isha, a beautiful rich girl, and shortly thereafter, he learns he has a world-saving destiny if he can channel the strange abilities he's always kept hidden and find the allies he needs to stop a trio of superpowered baddies working for an evil overlord. Eat this plate of tandoori chicken, Marvel. We've got your superhero action right here. So Ranbir Kapoor as Shiva and Aliyah Bhatt as Isha have such great chemistry that they married after meeting while filming Brahmastra. As for the rest of it, the story's a little convoluted. The providence of the heroes and villains isn't totally clear, but the music is a blast. The effects and art direction are spectacular, and writer-director Ayan Mukherjee has pulled all the elements together, assuring that Brahmastra is big fun. It's in Hindi with English subtitles. One quick note. It comes from Star Studios, which is an Indian production company connected to 20th Century Studios. So the movie begins with searchlights and a monumental 20th Century Fox-style Star Studios logo and a drum roll, leading to a version of the 20th Century Fox fanfare played on Indian instruments.
That's terrific.
I know.
It's worth seeing it just for that.
I know. It's in theaters. It's a big deal. There's intermission time for you to take a little break. It's 2 hours and 45. And there's going to be 2 more movies in this series.
That's terrific. Brahmastra.
Yeah. Brahmastra.
Yeah. Such good chemistry that the 2 leads got married after the thing was done.
Hey, love is love, baby.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Barbarian, the horror film with Georgina Campbell, Justin Long, Bill Skarsgård. Michael liked it.
Really liked it.
Yeah. Likes that horror stuff. You really like that horror stuff.
If it's good horror, I'm on board.
All right.
If it's the same old crapola. No,
Pinocchio is a horror, he says.
Well, let's not go crazy.
Tom Hanks and the Disney Plus people. You can find it there on Disney Plus.
It's a money grab, baby, and they're retaining their IP.
It's America. How dare you? That's what we do here. We grab money. You can read him in the Marina Times. You can hear him here on Fridays. He is the Culture Blaster. Comes and goes on a rainbow. Bye-bye, go
49ers, baby.
Go Niners. Mark Thompson Show, KGO 810.